Right guys, today we're going to talk about straight cutters. With a lot of great models on the market to choose from, such as Montolit, Sigma and Rubi, we're going to look at the pros and cons of each and look at the best overall cutter for you starting as a tiler. Alright guys, so this is the Montolit Masterpiuma 75, okay, which is a very versatile cutter, which is going to allow you guys to get stuck into a wide variety of jobs, from larger tiles, so this will cut up to a 75 centimeter long tile, all the way down to your smaller stuff, like your 150 by 150s, 150 by 75, kitchen splashbacks, metro tiles, etc. Okay, very versatile cutter. It's got a spring bed, quality built. It's one full die cast machine, so very strong and rigid. It's got a guide bar that actually flips up. So if you've got the guide bar set for cuts and you want to do a different cut, you can just flip it up, do that cut, flip it back down, and you're still set for those repetitive cuts. Okay. Very good for pattern work, guys, so we can set it at the required angle, let's say 45 for most stuff, and away we go. So very good for herringbone work, etc. Okay, and as I say, this will allow you to do 90% of your jobs. Okay, this is my most used cutter when I'm out on jobs anyway. You can get accessories for it, so you can get the mosaic mat, okay, which will allow you to cut glass, ceramic, porcelain mosaics, expanding the amount of jobs that you can do also. Okay, so there you go guys, it will last you your whole career if you look after it. As I say, very versatile and a top buy for when you're getting started in the tiling game. Little cutter that you want to keep your eyes open for, guys, you can still get them on eBay for about £50, is a Rubi TS 30, okay? Cracking little cutters, very well built, quality made, and it's what we call an end breaker, okay? So, we score the tile, pull the lever down, and that's the cut, okay? Very good for splashbacks. If that's the only thing you buy it for, it's worth its weight in gold, to be honest with you. Not so good for pattern work, I'll be honest, but for 50 quid, you know, we're very worth having. There you go guys, keep a lookout for that one. Right guys, the next cutter we're going to look at is the Rubi TX, okay? This cutter is able to cut more difficult tiles, say 12mm grade 3 to 5 porcelain, okay? There's going to be times when your Montolit or your Sigma just will not have the breaking power to cut these tiles, and they will squint off or you know, not break correctly, and this is where these cutters come into the run, okay? So this one is the TX 710. It's the smallest cutter in this range. Most of the guys get the TX, I think it's the 1020. Okay, so obviously that's a much bigger cutter. It's got a spring bed. It's got the removable wheels, which are quite nice because you can see where they're landing on the pencil mark. But as you can see, the breaker is much wider, okay, giving it more force on the tile. The breaking pressure of this cutter is 1200 kilograms, so that's an obscene amount of pressure, okay, but it makes all the difference on those more difficult to cut tiles. The guide bar, sorry, not the guide bar, the actual bar at the back will offset for your pattern work, so it'll do, you know, 45 cuts, diamond set, herringbone. This cutter will struggle though with smaller tiles, okay? just because of the way that it breaks. It's difficult to get it at the front. Pattern work on larger tiles, not a problem. It's got a guide bar also, okay? So the Rubi TX, guys, amazing cutter. Okay guys, let's go for it. So this is the TX. Much easier. Yeah, this does perform a lot better on that tile, guys. It's just got a greater breaking pressure. It's got like, you know, 1200 kilograms worth of pressure. Plus with the Pro wheel on it, which is quite blunt, this one probably, but it does deal with those harder tiles a lot better. So don't get rid of your TX, guys, is what I'm saying. So there you go, guys, that's a Rubi TX. Very capable bit of kit. Nothing you need right away though, but something you want to look to get in the future. Alright guys, so this is the Rubi TZ range, okay? Like the TX range, this can deal with harder to cut tiles. The breaking pressure with this cutter is 1500 kilograms, which is an obscene amount of pressure. And it's hard to get a sense of the scale of this cutter. This is huge. But if I actually just stand up with it, you can see there we go, okay? So quite a big cutter. This is about a 1.5 meter cutter, okay? 1.5 meters, and I'm pretty sure they've just brought out an 1800 long cutter also. So this can deal with much larger tiles if you ever get into those jobs. Definitely nothing that you need to get right away, okay? But a quality cutter nonetheless. Okay, so that's the Rubi TZ. So, rail cutters, okay? These are for large format tiling, and when we say large format tiling, we're talking 2.4 meter tiles by 1.2. So like the size of a sheet of plasterboard, we actually get tiles that big. So this is definitely not something you need to buy unless you're actually going to get into this line of work, okay? It's actually quite investment if you're getting into this line of work. You're looking at about £3,000 worth of kit by the time you've got the lifting frame, the frame tables, your rail cutter, etc. There's quite a bit of kit to buy if you want to get into this work, okay? Very lucrative, however, if you do so. Okay, so what have we got in this kit then? We have a sliding device here. Sits on the rail. As you can see, it's got 4 runners. Sits on the tracks, and you've got a scoring wheel there, and that will push into the tile and score it right along. Once you've created the score, you get your breaker, put it underneath the tile, tighten it up until you hear a little crack. Take it to the other side of the tile, repeat the process, and that will create the straight cut, okay? So rail cutters, guys, handy bit of kit if you ever get into that line of work, but definitely nothing that you need off the bat, okay?